Was it real? The moon landings, one of humanity's greatest achievements, or a well-executed hoax? For over half a century, this question has been dividing people into two distinct camps, believers and skeptics. With 483,613 hours spent researching for this video, here's what we found out about the moon landing conspiracy theories. Why did we go there? The immediate answer is simple. It was part of the space race between the US and the USSR during the Cold War era, a competition to achieve superiority in space exploration and technology. But beneath this surface-level answer lies a deeper, more intriguing question. Were the moon landings actually a covert mission to retrieve alien technology left behind on the moon? This theory suggests that NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, had a secret objective in going to the moon: to find and collect advanced extraterrestrial technology. There are a number of claims made by theorists which support their position. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence is a supposed anomaly on the lunar surface captured in a photograph during the Apollo 11 mission. This mysterious object, often referred to as the keyhole, appears to resemble a long, dark structure resembling a man-made keyhole. Proponents of the alien tech theory suggest that this could be an entrance to an underground alien base or a gateway to an inner hollow moon. However, critics argue that this is nothing but a trick of the light caused by uneven surface textures and shadows. Another interesting piece of evidence comes from a video recording taken during the Apollo 16 mission. In this footage, there seems to be a strange flash in the distance on the lunar surface. Some believe this could be the sign of an explosion caused by a nuclear device. Supporters of the alien tech theory claim that NASA intentionally destroyed this device to prevent any potential reverse engineering attempts by the Soviets. However, critics counter this argument by suggesting that the flash was likely caused by a meteoroid impact. They point out that the lunar surface is constantly bombarded by small pieces of debris from space, and that the flash in the video could simply be the result of such an impact. Why do we not go back to the moon? The last human to walk on the moon was Eugene Cernan, commander of the Apollo 17 mission in December of 1972. Since then, despite several missions being planned, no one has set foot on our closest celestial neighbor in over 5 decades. So why have we stopped going to the moon? At first glance, the reason may seem obvious. After successfully achieving the monumental task of landing humans on the moon and bringing them back safely, perhaps it seemed less important to continue these costly and risky endeavors. But when you think about it, we still haven't gone back to the moon. The moon landings were a remarkable achievement, but the reasons for stopping are more complex than they may initially seem. One major factor is the immense cost associated with space exploration. The Apollo program, which successfully landed astronauts on the moon, was incredibly expensive. In today's dollars, the program cost over $280 billion. Such a massive financial commitment requires significant government investment and public support. But by the early 1970s, public interest in space exploration began to wane. The initial wonder of the moon landings gave way to a desire for more tangible results. People wanted to know what would come next, what practical benefits would result from these massive investments. Without a clear vision for the future of space exploration, funding for the Apollo program began to dry up. Another reason for the halt in moon missions is the inherent danger involved in space travel. Every mission carries with it the risk of loss of life, whether it's a malfunction in equipment, exposure to cosmic radiation, or the unforgiving nature of space itself. As the Apollo program progressed and the risks became more apparent, it's natural that the desire to continue would diminish. What's on the dark side of the moon? The far side of the moon, hidden from view on Earth, holds many secrets and possibilities. One of the most intriguing theories about the dark side of the moon is the alleged presence of an alien base. This idea stems from the fact that the far side of the moon is not directly accessible from Earth, making it a perfect location for a secret installation. Proponents of this theory believe that aliens have chosen the far side of the moon as a place to observe humanity or even establish a base of operations. This idea is further fueled by the mysterious anomalies detected on the surface of the moon, such as unusual structures or objects that cannot be explained by conventional scientific means. However, it is important to note that there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of an alien base on the dark side of the moon. All we have are theories and speculation based on the images and data collected by various space missions. There is also another theory that suggests the dark side of the moon is actually an entrance to an inner hollow moon. This idea proposes that the moon is not a solid celestial body, but rather a hollow shell with an inner space that could potentially be used as a shelter by aliens or even humans. The theory suggests that this hollow space could be accessed through a portal located on the far side of the moon, away from the prying eyes of Earth's telescopes. This theory is based on the fact that the moon's density is lower than expected, leading some to believe that it may be hollow. However, this idea is highly speculative and lacks scientific backing. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the possibility of an alien base or a hollow moon on the far side of our natural satellite continues to fascinate scientists and space enthusiasts alike. As technology advances and our understanding of space grows, who knows what secrets the dark side of the moon may reveal? Why does so much evidence today show it was fake? For those who believe the moon landings were fake, the evidence is overwhelming. Firstly, there are inconsistencies in the footage that suggest the images were not captured on the moon. For example, there is the US flag waving in the wind without any telescopic pole that should be supporting it. There are also strange shadows and lighting effects that don't match up with the lunar environment. Additionally, there are claims of anomalies in the background of the images that suggest a studio setting rather than the moon as surface. These inconsistencies have led some to believe that the images were not taken during the moon landings, but rather created in a studio using special effects. Furthermore, there are claims that the moon landings were part of a larger conspiracy involving the US government and NASA. This conspiracy theory alleges that the moon landings were staged to win the space race against the Soviet Union, and that both the government and NASA were involved in a massive cover-up to hide the truth. This theory suggests that the footage and images were created in a studio, and that the astronauts were told to pretend they had landed on the moon. Regardless of where you stand on this issue, it's important to consider all sides of the argument and to evaluate the evidence for yourself. The moon landings are a pivotal moment in human history, and it is essential to understand the different perspectives and theories surrounding them. Whether you believe the moon landings were real or fake, one thing is certain: they remain one of the most fascinating events in space exploration. Why do the astronauts not swear on the Bible that they landed on the moon? The moon landings were a monumental achievement in human history, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and determination. Yet despite their significance, the events of those few short days in July of 1969 continue to be the subject of intense scrutiny and debate. Many people have questioned the authenticity of the moon landings, claiming that they were nothing more than a carefully orchestrated hoax. One piece of evidence often cited by those who doubt the landings is the failure of the astronauts to swear on the Bible that they indeed landed on the moon. After all, if they were telling the truth, wouldn't they be eager to prove it? Wouldn't they jump at the chance to put their credibility on the line and defend the integrity of their mission? The silence of the astronauts on this issue has only served to fuel the flames of conspiracy, leading many to believe that there must be something they're not telling us. Perhaps they feel no need to defend their mission because they know in their hearts that it was real. Or maybe, just maybe, they're hiding something. We may never know the truth, but one thing is certain: the debate surrounding the moon landings shows no signs of disappearing anytime soon. As new evidence emerges and fresh perspectives are brought to bear, we may find ourselves questioning the very foundations of one of humanity's greatest achievements. The world might never know the true story of what happened on the moon all those years ago. And perhaps that's why the astronauts have been so reluctant to swear on the Bible that they landed there. They know that doing so would open up a Pandora's box of questions and doubts that might never be fully laid to rest. But maybe that's not such a bad thing. Maybe the mystery surrounding the moon landings is what makes them so enduringly fascinating. Maybe it's the uncertainty, the sense that there is still so much we don't know that keeps us coming back to this historic event time and time again. Whatever the case may be, one thing is clear. The moon landings will continue to capture our imaginations for generations to come.